Hello students. Today we are going to learn chapter 7 directing part 2. In the last session we had learned as to what is directing, why it is important and what are the features of directing. In this session we are going to learn the elements of direction. There are 4 elements of direction, that is supervision, motivation, leadership and communication. So these 4 elements are very important when we talk about direction. So let's learn and understand each and every element one by one. So to start with supervision we all are aware with the meaning right from our childhood. Your parents supervise you, then when you go to school, your teachers supervise you or monitor you. When you go to your workplace, your boss supervises you. So what is supervision? Firstly, it can be understood as an element of directing. Secondly, as a function performed by the supervisor in the organization. Now, the process of guiding the efforts of employee and other resources to accomplish the objective is the main function which is performed by the supervisor, which means that you are overseeing as to what is being done by the subordinate and giving them the instruction to ensure that all the resources are utilized to its maximum and we achieve the targets according to the hierarchy. So basically, we can say that supervision means monitoring the work which is assigned to the employee continuously so that all the targets which are given to them are being monitored, and if there are any deviation, the manager can take the preventive measures to bring back in order. As William G. Scott says, motivation means a process of stimulating people to action to accomplish desired goal, which means that you are stimulating, you're forcing the people, or you are motivating them to take certain action so that the desired goal of an organization can be achieved easily. So supervision can be understood as the function which is performed by the supervisor, a managerial position in the organization hierarchy at the operational level, that is immediately above the worker. And the function and performance of the supervisor are vital to any organization because he's directly related to the workers, whereas the other managers, they don't have direct touch with the bottom level. So supervisor play a very important role to keep a check on the work which is being given. Now, why this supervision is important? The importance of supervision can be understood from multiple roles which are played by the supervisor. Now, as I said, that supervisor plays a vital role in an organization because he is the one who's in touch with the workers. He is the one who's in touch with the bottom level workers. And the most important thing is that he maintains day-to-day contact and maintains a friendly relation with workers. So a good supervisor acts as a guide, as a friend, as a philosopher to the worker. And he is the one who acts as a link between worker and management. So this role played by the supervisor helps to avoid any misunderstanding, any conflict between the management and workers. We can observe in many organizations that a good supervisor who is having a very good relation with the workers as well as the manager, he helps the company or the organization to achieve its goal more efficiently and more effectively. Now, supervision is again important because supervisor plays a key role in maintaining the group unity. Now, let's say, for example, if your boss itself is not maintaining the unity in the team, how can you achieve the goal? So supervisor plays a key role in maintaining the unity among the workers placed under his control. And he is the one who's ensuring the performance of all the employee according to the target set. So if he provides good on-the-job training to the workers and employees, then the organization is sure to achieve the success. A supervisor with a good leadership quality can encourage and increase the morale of the workers. Like, let's say, for example, if your boss is constantly motivating you, he's constantly passing the positive attitude in you, then you are ought to put more contribution, work more hard for achieving the targets. So a good supervisor, it helps you to bring out the best in an employee. A good supervisor analyzes the work performed and gives the feedback. See, this is very important. It's just not enough to just supervise the work. It is very important that apart from analyzing, he should also give the feedback to the worker. He should give the suggestion. He should try to improvise on various ways and means of developing the working skills. So this is about supervision. The second element of this is motivation. So the second element of directing, apart from supervision, it is motivation. We all need motivation irrespective of our age, irrespective of our position. We all need to be motivated at some point or the other. So motivation means incitement or inducement to act or move, and the process of making subordinate to act in a desired manner to achieve the goal is motivation. Psychologists say that it is the motivation which actually stimulates the people to take up work voluntarily. If your boss tries to motivate you every time, then you will automatically contribute more to the organization. So motivation has a psychological impact, and motivation, it induces you to take an action, to move into the direction which is given to you. We have three elements. One is motive, motivation, and motivator. Now let's try to understand what it means. A motive is an inner state that energizes, activates, moves, and directs the behavior towards a goal. Like, let's say, for example, if you have some motive which is arising out of the needs of an individual, your motive or your need, your desires, all that falls under motive. And in order to fulfill this motive, you need a motivation to achieve that target. So motivation is the process of stimulating the people to action to accomplish that goal. Like, let's say, for example, your motive right now is to eat because you're hungry. Now, what is motivation? It will, that your motive of hunger, that, to have something to eat, will motivate you to search, to find food so that your goal could be achieved. It's just a crude example. And motivator means it is a technique which is used to motivate people in an organization. So that technique or motivation technique could be anything. It could be bonus, promotion, recognition, praise, awards, rewards, giving authority and responsibility. So all these things can act as a motivator. Like for some, the motivator technique can be promotion or monetary rewards. For some, motivator can be awards, recognition, position, status. So motivator is a technique which is used to motivate people in the organization. Now let's understand what are the features of motivation. Motivation is an internal feeling. Your urge, desires, aspiration, your need to achieve something, striving or needs for human being, which is internal, and it influences your human behavior. So basically, when we talk about motivation, it's about our internal feeling as to what are our, inner desires or aspiration or needs. So motivation produces goal-directed behavior. Like, let's say, for example, the promotion in the job may be given to employee with the objective of improving his performance. Now here comes the role of a manager. If manager wants to motivate his employee, he can very well say that you will be promoted in the job if you improve your performance or if you achieve this target. So a manager can actually attract and make the employee work towards the target by giving him, motivation to achieve the, rewards or awards which are declared by the organization. So it produces goal directed behavior. The another feature of motivation is that it can be either positive or negative. Now, when we talk about positive motivation, which means increase in pay, promotion, recognition, status, authority, responsibility, then what is negative motivation? It means like punishment, stopping increments, creating a fear, maybe the fear of, the stability of the job. Like many of the company, they have hire and fire policy, which means that if you perform well, you're hired. And if you don't perform well, then you're fired, which means you're out of the company. Now, that fear of hire and fire policy will actually induce the employee to work harder and contribute more to the organization. So all these negative motivation like punishment, threatening, stopping increments, which also may induce a person to act in a desired way. And as we all know, that motivation, actually human itself is a very complex to understand, because all the individuals are not the same. They are heterogeneous. Every human being is different from the other. The needs, urges, desires of every individuals are different. So we can say that they are heterogeneous in nature, because our expectations, our perceptions, our reactions with regard to particular situation is never the same. So we can say that motivation is a complex process, because all the individuals are heterogeneous, our perception, our reactions, our expectations are different. So these are the features of motivation. Now let's understand the motivation process. Let me give you an example. It starts with your unsatisfied need. Let's say, for example, you're hungry since morning, and it's right now it's evening 6 o'clock, and since morning you did not have anything to eat. Now, what is your need? Food, because you're hungry, and your desire to have food is unsatisfied right now. So you have an unsatisfied need, that is to eat or to have food. Now, when you're hungry since morning, that would obviously create a tension in you. You want to eat something. You're not at rest or at peace because you're hungry. So constantly, it's going to affect your behavior. So now this unsatisfied need will lead you to tensions and your drives, because your inner drive is to have food. You'll start searching. So next comes your search behavior, because now you'll find means and ways to satisfy your need. That somewhere or the other you get the food and you satisfy your need. And once you have had your food, and once you ate something, your unsatisfied need is satisfied now. So from unsatisfied need, which has created tension, drives, your search behavior, and once you eat, your need is satisfied. And when your need is satisfied, now there is reduction of tension, because now you have fulfilled your need. So this is about the motivation process. So same way in organization also, any person, this is the process of motivation. Then when your need is not satisfied, it creates a tension when you're not able to achieve certain goal in an organization, be it individual goal or your personal interest or your organizational goals. If it's not satisfied, it creates tension. Then it pushes to the drives to achieve that need. And in search of behavior, finally you try to satisfy your need. And once you achieve your target, there is a reduction of tension. Now, why this motivation is important? Because it helps you to improve your performance. As I said, that at every stage of life, be it any person, be it at the top management or lower management or middle management, even for people at the top management, at times they need the motivation. Because without motivation, it is not possible that a person can work continuously like a machine. So motivation helps to improve the performance level of employee as well as the organization. Because when an employee is satisfied, he can always turn out to be the best in the organization. And he can, if he is motivated, he can give more output for the organization. So motivation helps to improve performance level, and motivation helps to change negative or indifferent attitude of employee to positive attitude. And as I said, that it helps to reduce employee turnover also. Like, let's say, for example, if in your organization, your employees are not satisfied, be it any reason, either they are not satisfied with the salaries or wages or working condition or organization culture or with policies, any factor, if they are not satisfied, they'll leave the company. And if the number of ratio of people or employee leaving your organization is high, then this is called as employee turnover, which is very harmful for any organization. Because every organization, they spend a lot in training and developing the employee. So after training and after training the skill of an employee for 6 months or 8 months or a year, when he becomes well acquainted with the job, and because of dissatisfaction, if this employee leaves the company, then it is increase in the cost of production for the company. So the continuous motivation helps to reduce this employee turnover, because that would help them to stay in the company for a longer period of time. The next one is motivation helps to reduce absenteeism. There, it's being observed that people who are not satisfied with the organization, as I said, be it any factor, whether it's with regard to salary or it's whether they are not satisfied with working culture or working environment, when they are not satisfied, they remain absent from the work. And some important reason for absenteeism, as I said, are working condition, inadequate rewards and awards, poor relation with supervisors and colleagues. So through sound motivational system, all these problems can be covered or solved. And motivation helps manager to introduce changes. Like, let's say, for example, if top management wants to bring any changes in the policy or bring any changes technologically, now it is the job of the manager to convince the employee that all the proposed changes will bring additional reward to the employee. It will upgrade their skills and knowledge and efficiency. Then they will readily accept these changes. So motivation is very important, and it helps the manager to bring out any new changes and implement them smoothly in the organization. Because once the employee is convinced that all these changes are made for their betterment, then they'll work efficiently and they'll accept those changes and try to adjust to that changed new environment or the new working environment. So thank you so much. We have covered this motivation topic and supervision. And in the next session, we are going to discuss about Maslow's need hierarchy theory, and we would also learn about financial and non-financial incentives. Thank you so much.